like randomly, but like like the white stuff is when I'm mad,
and
then I just if I don't know, when the white stuff I don't blink. You notice when I'm mad, I don't, and I see the white stuff, I don't blink at all, and I just see.
What white stuff is like dots?
Like no, I look at one thing and also I can do when I'm not mad, but I can look at one thing and all the stuff around me just goes white and you can't see anymore. One of the
Is
things.
it like tunnel vision?
What?
You can see the person with nothing around them like that, or
like you can see what you're looking at and then there's all white around it.
Yeah, like tunnel vision, because I get that too when I'm stressed, and it's from like pressure in your head.
Okay.
So that one I'm like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. But the reason I wanted to discuss this is because we have that worker coming tomorrow. I want you to be real with them, and I don't want you to make up symptoms. So like that time you thought you broke your foot and then you were dancing for 2 weeks, but then at a doctor's appointment you insisted that you had a broken foot, needed a wheelchair. It did scans, it was nothing. The car accident you faked, took the cops, made us go to the ER, and then they scanned you, and then you acted fine after they said, hey, it's nothing. Then I'm having stomach issues where I had to go to the ER for or even like bowel obstruction, and then like a week later you have the same symptoms where your stomach hurts, and it is not to do with your period. So I ask you how serious you are, because I've already talked to you about, your different mental health categories. I've already thought maybe this is schizoaffective, maybe it's childhood schizophrenia. I've already gone through those things and found creators talking about their conditions as themselves to know enough about it to, figure out if this is you. And so when we talked about it, maybe 6 months ago, you're like, no, I don't see anything. I just have the tunnel vision and I see this white V on the wall, but you also were grinning, and that means you're trolling me. So, and then all of a sudden we have a worker coming in the day before, a few days before, you're like, I see floating heads, they have giant smiles. When I see homeless people, sometimes they have this giant, ear to ear grin, and I think you said like you understood what that means now. So when did this start if it didn't exist before? The only thing near to that would be when you said you were like 6 or 7 and you had a stuffed animal and it winked at you. And I'm like, I even searched through that. That's normal childhood imagination and stuff. So that's what I'm saying is all of a sudden, like, where is this thing coming from?
You know the last apartment when I said I seen like those demon monster things? The last apartment I told you that?
You didn't say, you said, but worrying about closets. I'm worrying about monsters and closets in the dark, which also searched and is pretty age normative. Because you were 10 then.
Yeah, like, it was then and I just didn't tell you.
But I asked you like several times around that, and I had to draw pictures of the V you saw. So it would have been pertinent to mention seeing floating heads that are smiling and talking to you, right?
Yeah, that's what I didn't tell you because that's what like crazy people see, like floating heads into seeing.
Babe, crazy people cause fake car accidents because they want attention from strangers. You've already been there. Like, you seeing floating heads would really not surprise me, but I want it to be accurate because the right medication needs to hit your brain, right? So if you end up getting like schizophrenic medication and you don't need it, it's not going to do anything for you, right?
Make you even worse.
Yeah.
Some other problems.
So I know that, like, you looked at me in the eyes and you were telling me this stuff. I think it was yesterday that we talked about it and recorded it, and you were looking me in the eyes, and I like, you don't want to say to someone like, hey, are you seeking attention right now, when they're talking about like a potentially medical condition or experience. At the same time, I saw you with snot, weight on your face and tears on your eyes, tricking cops from Shorewood Police Department into you had been in an accident when you never had. Like, I dealt with those calls from insurance people where I had to say, hey, my daughter's very mentally ill. She created the scene. It's not real. We don't need insurance reimbursement. Like, that's what, you're saying crazy people. That's what crazy people do, okay? So, at this point, crazy is relative. It doesn't even matter. What does matter is trying to get you the right help. And you've been duping therapists for years on your weekly, visits to them since you were 3. And I don't want you to dupe another worker. I'm trying to get you help, but you're blocking your own help. I watched the videos of us talk about how it's hard to get you help, and I realized, like, I'm not holding you accountable at all for tricking people. Like, that's part of your mental illness. I understand that. The pathological lying is part of it. But I do need you to be for real. Because like DCFS, CPS, they have access to facilities and higher levels of care that we do not. I can't just refer you myself. It would be a court appointed like referral. So I can't have you duping people about seeing floating heads if that's not your truth. And I also acknowledge that it is very hard for you to be shown the truth because you like to lean into lying to feel like you're winning. We've already discussed that. So at the end of the day, it's you blocking you from getting help. Actually, those are out for chippies now because they're so dry and no one covered them. So there's some chip dip and those are chips. Just break them off. So help yourself to those. So, Kanaya, what is your truth? And if you need to pause for a minute, that's fine. But we can't.
That's the truth.
You'll tell the same thing to the lady who comes?
Yes, if you guys, I don't know if it's anything that needs to be told to her because it's only when I'm stressed, so it doesn't matter.
So tell me again what happens when you're stressed out.
I see things like the V. I don't know if the V.
Do you remember the V, Damar? Because it was on the back of the sofa she thought on the wall, and you and I are both like, is she telling the truth or not? You know.
The V. I don't know how stressed out then.
What about the people in all white chasing you?
People in all white chasing you.
Oh yeah, that last year. I forgot what it was like. It was like a dream. These people in all white were chasing me and trying to take me away.
So you know that a dream is different from reality?
Yeah.
And did you experience it while you were consciously awake? Or were you asleep dreaming?
I think I was awake walking or something.
So now you're not sure?
I don't remember if I was awake or asleep when the dream happened.
Well, dreams don't happen when we're awake.
Whatever happened, I don't know when it was, if I was awake or...
Were you at school? Because this is something that sounds like you told your brother. You probably would have told me.
Yeah.
If you're home, I'm home, so...
Yeah, like, see, we were sitting down watching a movie or something, and then there was like an ad, people dressed in white. Oh no, it was like the movie we saw, and they were all in white, and then like we were watching it, and she said, like
Oh, and then I said those are the people who like take people away or something like that.
Yeah, it was in
So it's from a movie, and you're confusing it with reality now?
yeah, the Hunger Games where they were all dressed in white.
I don't know. Good night. So it was a dream, it was something you thought was real, or it was something you saw in a movie and now you're repeating?
No, because I had a dream about that, about people like in white taking me away.
Were you asleep? It sounds like it if it was a dream.
Yeah, I don't know.
So like dreams when you're asleep during sleep time, when they're dreaming and you're in your bed safe, not relative to this. We all have nightmares. Okay? Gonna need you to distinguish between reality and dreamland. All right? So did that happen or no?
What?
It was just a dream, or did you perceive that someone was chasing you, and also where was I during this perception?
I guess, yeah, dream, I think.
Okay, I hope you're able to tell the difference between a dream and... Are we dreaming right now, or are we awake?
Awake.
Okay, and how do you know?
Because you're talking to me?
Okay, things don't happen in your dreams?
No, things do. Well, I don't know. Yeah, things do. But, yeah.
So what we do have going on is like a persistent need for getting constant attention and you trying to get unnecessary medical help. So you've been tested, you've been genetically tested, you've been like for everything that could possibly be. The only thing is your eyes, you break your own glasses. You say that you'll keep breaking them. So there's no point to replace your glasses at this point. So medically, there's nothing wrong with you. Mentally, though, clearly there's something. But I want to get to a point where you are able to be real with yourself and others. So the pathological lying and the history of seeking unnecessary medical attention, as even like going to the school nurse every day, you said picking scabs and seeking Band-Aids just to see her. Like, this is not, I'm not going to say crazy person. I don't even feel like that's a thing anymore. I feel like we already just live so much chaos. But typical people don't do that, right? Typical people go about their day and they don't try to seek sympathy from police officers or nurses or social workers at school or whatever strangers you come across and beg for money, right? Like, you seeing floating heads, that would be like the least crazy part of all this, actually, because that's like a medical diagnosis. But you hopping around on all these other things for attention, like every single day, that's also its own diagnosis. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
It's like Munchausen or fictitious disorder, where we make up things to get a certain kind of attention. And it goes along with the pathological lying and duping people. Whereas if you see floating heads, that may be more like schizophrenia or schizoaffective. So it's two entirely different treatment paths, two entirely different medications, two entirely different directions of where things go from here. So you can't be lying.
Floating heads in your dreams, or do you see floating heads in real life?
In real life.
Huh?
In real life.
Okay. And how stressed are you should be to see it? Like, which is the last time you saw it? You record the time you saw?
Hmm?
You should be pretty stressed that did it.
Oh, yeah.
Record.
Yeah.
Do you see floating heads around? Huh?
No, I just seen all like looking at one thing and white around it.
Okay. When is the last time you saw floating heads?
I seen the old lady in the closet.
Huh?
The old lady in the closet was
When you saw that?
on the I forgot it was like yesterday, right, when we talked about it.
Yeah. Yep. I don't know if it was like one of those shadow creatures in the closet that you worry about, and maybe that's still relative to your brain being developmentally younger. I'm not really sure at this point. Damar, since you guys share a room, has she ever mentioned floating heads or witches in closets to you?
You know, she told me about, like, she didn't tell me, but when we were sitting down, I heard that
That talked to me the other day.
what's it called? Like, she got, she would get burnt up, the picture she drawed.
Oh, okay.
I heard that. But yeah, I never heard the floating heads. But
Yeah.
did your friend's AI generate like a balloon head?
The concern is that you have told Damar and I that you would kill us if you had access to weapons or tools. You've made a shiv to kill your brother with. All these other things that should be outlandish and wild to you, but you think floating heads is going to startle me. You tried to poison me a few times. So, where do you place floating heads on the crazy scale?
I don't know, but I don't think that's normal.
I don't either, and I also don't think people lying about conditions is normal either. And I am more concerned about that one.
Have you seen it last month or so? Huh? Like, I'm trying to understand, like, when were you stressed so much that you saw floating heads last?
I don't know.
Huh?
It was like not this month.
Huh?
I've only seen.
Like, was it in this apartment anytime?
No, I think it was in the beginning.
In the beginning of what, this apartment?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Okay. Was it inside the house or was it outside? Huh?
Inside the house.
Okay. And like, where was it?
I think I was in the kitchen or something.
You don't remember something as traumatic as seeing things that aren't there and they talk to you?
Like, you don't remember the situation where it was? Like, which room it was, where you saw it? Like, if something
said
like
it was
that
in
happened
the
to me, I don't remember.
I said it was in the kitchen.
So one thing I want to bring up is that there was a study about people with schizophrenia. And so their facial morphology, they have a wider face. And so their smile to eye, like their mouth to eye ratio is a lot wider. And so that could distinguish either bipolar or schizophrenia. And then I mentioned that because I was really interested in their experience, having not met anyone in person yet, although Google says it's common. And so I mentioned about that before when I came across this study about how when they hear voices, it's actually their own voice and their brain misinterprets it because everyone thinks like, oh, they're crazy. Like, no, it's the wiring in their brain that's just different. And that's their experience of it. So me being like a nerd, I shared that out loud. And then now we have this. So that's where I'm like, are we repeating things or is it genuine? And if it's genuine, why haven't we heard anything about it
You didn't get scared when
when
you
you're
saw it?
experiencing it.
No.
Huh?
No.
You didn't get scared? You don't think that this is absurd? Seeing a head floating around?
No.
Huh?
No.
You thought it was normal?
No, because the smile looks like my smile.
Huh?
The smile looks like my smile.
Like
Oh.
your smile.
Is the voice also like your voice?
No.
Then
But then how you thought it was so normal? Like how you didn't tell anybody you would scream or run from the room? If I would see a floating head, I would get scared of it and run from the room. Like something would happen, right? Some reaction you would have had. You would not be like, oh, floating head. Just casually look at it. Like, oh, nice.
let me tell you how that does go though. In my younger years, I got high one time, and I saw flashes of my memory because I have the photographic memory type, but not with numbers, so it's not useful. And I saw, and I called Dalton, and I was like, I'm really scared right now. I'm not going to leave my bed. Like, why am I seeing they were real memories of mine, but I was seeing them like physical pictures, and I was like, ooh, something's not right now. Like, you do feel scared, and you're like, okay, this is beyond my limits. So that's where I'm like, this doesn't really
You didn't
make
get
sense.
scared,
babe.
didn't get anything. You just were like, how fine for floating heads. And how long you saw it? Huh?
Not that long. They last for like 2 seconds.
Like 2 seconds you saw a floating head and it went away. Okay. And this happens to you how often?
Not that often.
Huh?
Not that often. It's mostly the tunnel vision.
You told me before this, like every time you get stressed, it happens to you.
No,
Now it became very often, less often.
no, because it was more in the last apartment.
Yeah, I asked you specifically in the last department if you see X, Y, and Z examples, and that was really dumb of me because now I know you do have the fictitious disorder, where if I say something medical related to you, you're gonna copy and paste it onto yourself. Because I literally said that, and I was like excited to like, when you're autistic, you notice patterns, and you're like, okay, like unless a scientist has proven it, it's not real yet. And then I saw the pattern, and I was like, oh, that really is from listening to schizophrenic people. That is the thing, and I was right. So I got excited about that. And then I shared it, and that was, why am I chatty? But you see, you're able to assess things pretty well most times. Like, what is actually more crazy? Is someone like copying everything that is said about medical things? Like when you got hit by the car, well, you weren't hit by a car, but when you pretended to be hit by a car, I wish I had like those glasses I told you I need, because it was like, it would be inappropriate for me to record that with police around, but at the same time, I know this child and you don't. And she was literally snot, crying tears, and her only job in the 45 minutes she was gone was to cross the road. And so made sense of it, and later we did have that discussion about it, where you said, like, I really just wanted attention. The part that's wild to me is that you went into school the next day, because you were fine, of course, and you got it from your seat and stretched your broken leg that lacked a cast. And then you told me later, like weeks later, when you finally, I asked you again, and finally you admitted to it instead of leaning in. And you're like, yeah, I just wanted attention. Like, those kids knew. Like, they laughed at me and they told me they knew. Right? That's already on recording. I don't need you to verify it. But the real mental health issue under this, now that we are on the same spot, we can see, is that she does do that. And that's more like histrionic personality disorder and in that direction, which means you can get help for that. But it's really hard to get help when you are not honest.
You make a lot of stories, like the other day, like we spent like almost a whole evening to find out that the chain was from the house and things like that. Like so many stories, if you make, nobody's going to trust you, these stories, right? It becomes difficult to trust what you're saying is true and false. You like everything is just like a story or something that you're kind of creating some figment of your imagination stuff and telling us. It just feels like wasting time with you. Unless you are very sure about what tomorrow if they start giving medication for this thing, it will be very bad for your body, you know that? You go and tell people, I see floating heads, and they start treating you for that for no reason. You'll start seeing floating head for sure then. You'll start seeing a lot more things. Your whole brain will start getting scrambled. Understand? They'll give you medicines to shut down your brain, parts of your brain, so that you don't have all those emotions. Understand? You become like a zombie. There are so many things that can happen to you. If you're a normal person and you're just claiming to have all these weird things happen to you.
But to be clear, you do have a mental health issue. Like, no one's saying, like, hey, you're perfectly healthy. Like, no, I would honestly rather you be schizophrenic, honestly, because then I would know exactly what it is and people would hear it and they'd be like, oh, that makes sense. Versus me saying, like, no, this kid has connect disorder, several things. Her ADHD diagnosis is actually about her impulsivity, not ADHD. and she pathologically lies. Because you say that as an adult, and they're like, what do you mean she pathologically lies? Why are you mean to her? Like, no, I'm trying to get you help. I'm trying to get help here. And I can't when you're the one blocking yourself. Like, we can go around all day about how there aren't services for people your age. There aren't if you lie about what's wrong with you. Right? Like, do you get what I'm saying?
Can I understand the closet thing, like you're a kid and you get scared, sometimes you feel like there is something, sometimes you see some shadows from lights and stuff and you feel like there's something in the room happens to kids and stuff like that.
That, and also people with ASPD, which is what the conduct disorder goes to for certain people that are genetically predisposed, they do perceive threats a lot more than like you and I would. Like reading somebody's face, they'd be like, oh, that person hates me, or, you know, I have to get back at that person. And that person's just having an off day. It's not related to you at all. So yeah, you could perceive a danger in a closet that's dark because your brain is constantly like...
I'm telling that because I used to, when I was small, I used to feel like I used to any shadows, I should see anything, my brain used to first go to kind of create an image of that thing, like put together the like an eyes and a face and hands and stuff to it. So I understand what that is. So I'm pretty sure that something like that you've seen, and nothing more than that. Because that happens to you, like especially when you're a kid. Your imagination kind of takes you like that, and you temporarily get scared of it, or you feel like there's somebody over there or there's something moving. But anyway, floating heads is a little more outreached over there, which I feel is like, okay, what are you talking about? And if you saw something like that, why didn't you get scared and why didn't you say something to somebody? How stressed were you that day? All these questions.
What are the triggers for it? Yeah.
All these questions are in my mind right now. Were you stressed that day? Like what happened that day? It was so stressful. You're saying maybe when you're stressed, right? You remember the stress. If you see the heads, you probably remember what happened that day. What happened that day? No? Can I? What happened that day in the kitchen? The stress.
This one.
Do you remember? What?
Are you feeling angry that someone's challenging what
No.
you said? Then?
I'm not feeling anything.
Well, that's
And then
not
what
realistic.
happened that day?
I don't know.
Huh?
I don't know.
Okay.
What have I always told you? When you feel like you want attention, just tell me that, and I will
that's
snuggle with
weird
you.
to
And
just ask for attention.
you can do that though. Like, I would love to just snuggle with you, and like the way that I wanted things for you to have, I wanted you to have a cute little room, and I wanted you to be my daughter and be able to give you things and trust you with things and have a bond with you. Like snuggle up with you and not feel like you're trying to swindle something out of me. Like, I wanted that relationship. Okay? And this isn't about what I wanted, but I'm saying, like, that's where my heart is at for you. So why wouldn't you be able to just say, like, hey, I need some attention right now? And I would be like, get over here, big cheeks, because I would rather love on you than do this all the time, right?
Or let's go for walks and stuff. You're both can go to walks together or something like that. You can make something, or you can make it like a weekly thing where you can have like, okay, this time Panay and mom spends together. There's so many things I can do if you want attention.
Well, we used to do that, and then I think it was like established mutually that it was uncomfortable for us both. But if you say like, I need to be like roughhoused or like loved on or whatever, like I would gladly snuggle up with you or you know, give you a nuggie. So what's going on? Are you feeling disappointed?
No.
Annoyed?
No.
Frustrated?
No, I'm not feeling anything.
I don't know how realistic that is given the conversation we just had. Why don't you look at me? If you see the floating heads, why didn't you say anything sooner? I've asked you several times to try to gauge exactly where your head is at. Spend my nights trying to search things that you said to make sense of it.
No matter if you see floating head, what you'll do?
You first scream, round the place and then tell everyone.
Yeah, and I would call you.
Either it's so normalized to you that no floating heads, I see them every time. Like every day this happens to me. It's happening to me again.
But the people that do see that, because I do follow some now, the schizophrenia thing, I'm trying to understand. And so, like, they casually talk about their experiences. Like, they're just very casual, as if everybody around them knows that, hey, this is how my brain is in case I get that way, right? So then there's you with, like, all this other stuff and patterns. And now all of a sudden, before a worker comes, you're like, yeah, so floating heads. That talk to me. I'm trying to talk to you. This will not be good for you as you get older. Do you understand? Because someday in your life you will have some kind of medical, physical issue. And you go to the doctors, and after 18, it charts what your things are in there for. That's what my chart does. It logs the communications. And they're gonna see that, like, oh, I can't believe this girl, even if she needs attention, because she fakes car accidents and fakes broken legs and broken feet and sees things.
And the smiley face when you saw last on people's faces.
I see that one. I see people related to my family, like that homeless man from the homeless shelter. It was, and then.
Has it happened recently?
Let's clarify the homeless man thing. Were we just driving by some homeless people? Yeah, so that could also just been like, oh, I didn't really see that.
And then I see my birth mom looking over me with this big smiley face.
Was that like a dream when you're sleeping, or is it when you're awake?
It was both, actually. And then she had the yellow eyes.
Okay.
Okay, you didn't tell me her head was floating. You said that she did have the wild smile and the yellow in the eyes.
Yeah, that's the thing we're talking about.
Like a dream. Yeah, you said it was a dream.
She had something in her hand and she was chasing you.
Yeah, that was a dream.
That one. Yeah, that one.
Or memory. Is that a memory you said?
That was the memory I said. And then the wheelchair lady, I don't know if that was. I don't even know if that was true because we don't know.
So memories. Memories are also not present reality, though, right?
Yeah.
So you're having maybe like a flashback memory. That's what you told me about the person in the wheelchair and it's a thing with your birth mom. But that's also different than sleepy time dreams and seeing a floating head right before you, as good as your hand, right? Mm-hmm.
Yes.
When you see these things, you don't get scared?
Hmm?
You don't get scared when you see these things?
No.
Huh?
No. Because the smile, I practice my smile sometimes. Smile looks like mine, but just bigger.
I understand that, but when you see work mom chasing you or some wheelchair person being spooky, all that doesn't scare you?
No, I've seen like the birth mom stuff since I was little. I don't get scared of it anymore.
You see it all every time?
Like, yeah, just sometimes I don't know. That memory I've seen since I was little, so I don't know.
And the conversation we had 2 days ago was that you just had those flashback memories in association with some kind of experience, and you're trying to understand them. And so I told you, certain smells or certain things that you hear or whatever, like certain current lived experiences can trigger memories like that. So I think there's a misunderstanding between you and I talking yesterday, the day before, and you saying it was a new experience for you to have flashbacks, because you asked me how old was I when I started getting flashbacks, and I said like 19 or so, and then you did a big like you have that to look forward to, right? So I just wish that we could either be honest more often, Kanaya, or that I had those glasses where I could record every moment.
I'm saying that.
Just now you said like you
No.
see it often, right?
I said to you as well that I seen the chasing me since I was little.
You said it was a memory you had just had because
No.
you're trying to understand it, and then you also said to me a few days before that, when you initially said about having a memory of your birth mom chasing you, you're like, well, I don't know if that's real or not. I have to ask her. And I was like, you're gonna ask the person you think chased you with something and scared you? Like, these are conversations we have had within the past, 4 or 5 days.
Because I was hearing the conversation in the kitchen, so I know this is what you said.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're saying that you see that pretty often, that she's chasing you.
No, I said I've seen it before.
Like how much? When before?
I don't like. I
At
said
the
I,
time you didn't think of telling mom.
no. It's she has them too. I know.
Huh?
I know.
Flashbacks are not seeing things that aren't real. Different. Flashbacks are your memories.
Yeah, but I don't know if they're true, so there's no point. There's no point of telling you. And then I told you, I don't know why. There's no point of knowing because I don't know if anyone has a wheelchair in my family. I don't know if she actually did that. There's no point of saying if you don't know.
But you did say it anyway. And so that was a memory and not visually seeing somebody as good as your brother on the floor over there. He's real, isn't he?
Yeah.
So did you see them right before you?
Oh no.
Because that's what we're talking about, honey. You're trying to tell us you see floating heads for real, as good as Demara is right there. Right? And you're telling us you see your birth mom chasing you with something, and you see somebody in a wheelchair that's scary, and you see a witch in the closet. You are saying you're seeing these, like you're seeing things that aren't real, in present time.
I get flashbacks with that.
Okay, that makes more sense. Flashback is like, I can be watching a TV show and then something reminds me of, and it's a memory in your head. It's not like I believe that it's happening right in front of me. The floating heads, I don't know where you're getting that. Maybe it's a nightmare. Or are you still saying that is as much as your brother is right there?
Oh, I think it's just nightmares.
Okay.
This mother thing also you're saying happens pretty often. And this is the first time you told mom? You've seen your mother chase you earlier also? Like this flashback has come to you previously also?
Mm-hmm.
Words, please.
Yes.
Okay. And then this is the first time you've thought about it?
No, I just don't. I don't know if any. Well, I had other flashbacks before, and I just don't want to say anything about it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's completely up to you with your mental health. If you want to share flashbacks or not. Flashbacks can be pretty personal, but they're also very different than seeing things that are not real. All right, so now that we've backtracked from that, do you hear any voices or anything? Because that went along with it. You said you sometimes hear people saying your name. I think that's pretty common when there are multiple people living in a house. Other people are talking sometimes without you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So tomorrow when she comes, can we just tell the truth about what's really wrong with us and not everything else in the DSM-5? Kanaya.
Yes.
Be as honest possible with her. Because she's going to give you help. And the more right things you tell her, the more right help you get. Obviously, you go in the wrong direction, everything will be bad for you. So, you want the right help, then it's a good time to do that. They have resources, they have everything at their disposal to help you. Tell them the right things. And if you start dragging them in the wrong direction, then you will only suffer. That's it. Nobody else is going to suffer. Everybody else will live their lives, everybody else will be doing their stuff. Your life is going to get spoiled. So, if you want the life in the future to be better and things to turn for you and for you to all these things that you're having to deal with, your things that you feel that you cannot control and this and that and whatever you have with you, you need to talk to them and get the right help. Either it be medication or it be some kind of more therapy or more kind of counseling or whatever it be.
Okay. So where are we at, Kanaya? Lift your head up. Talk to me. Do you feel like you have a same page understanding of your experiences now?
Yeah.
The flashbacks are not the same as seeing things that aren't real?
Yes.
Okay. I want to make sure you have that language to manage your trauma symptoms, right? Your mental health stuff. Why don't you go get ready for bed?
What?
I'm sorry, did you want to talk about anything else? I feel like 40 minutes is long enough.